Alright guys, I got something to say, man. Something's been on my mind, just popped up, and it hit real deep, and it made things a lot more clear. And I felt that I should get this out before I waste time on it and lose the spirit of understanding it. The spirit of Yah should not be content with man forever. Alright. So check this out. When we're talking about the Greece, and I was saying, how did this name Greece come about? You know what I mean? And I was saying, pretty much Greece, the word Greece, the way that we speak in English, if you say damn and D-A-M and D-A-M-N, nobody can really tell the difference, especially a child who you're speaking to. They think both of them is a curse word. In actuality, they are sort of kind of both a curse word. Yeah, actually, they both are a curse word in context. Dam, spelled the same way, D-A-M, in Hebrew is blood. So we're not. So when you're saying from Hebrew to English, you're saying curse, and then in Hebrew you're saying blood. You understand? So you're already damning, you're already cursing the Ruach, the Holy Spirit, the Aheb Ruach Kadesh. You're cursing the Hebrew, the Spirit of understanding, which is the Holy Spirit, and that's blasphemy, and that's unforgivable. So that's why they draw you out, raise you up to be blasphemous. That way, it ain't start nothing, won't be nothing. You know what I mean? Like, you were born in it. They didn't just start with you. No, you were born in this. Like Yeshaya warned you in this. He said, we are born in sin, born in the flesh. And the flesh is of the world. And it's sin. It's a weapon. Alright, now before, like I said, because the Aheb Ruach Kadesh of Yah will not contend with man forever. Alright, so let's say this. Here we go. What the Aheb Ruach Kadesh has revealed to me, because it's been so, I care so much. I don't want to just toss things out, toss people away. If I can admit that I'm wrong, or find some way to console my opponent or my brother or an enemy so that they would become closer to the kingdom, hey, I guess that'll be the hill. Alright, speaking of hell, speaking of hell, here you go, Greece. Alright guys, we already know that Greece is called Achaia. Alright, it's spelling Asai. We already know that Greece is called Achaia. Okay. Now, Achaia means brother of Yah. Okay. We know this. Ak, brother, Ah, of Yah. Okay. You get it. Alright, here we go. Now, check this out. Greece was started by Noah's son, Yayan, who you would call Javan. Yayan. Yayan. Then as you progress, it's Javan, J-A-J-A-N, or J-A-Y-A-N, and J-A-V-A-N, and all the way down to John. Okay. Yayan to John. Alright? So, John will be the prophet. So from the beginning to the end. So in the beginning, Yayan, and in the end, John. The of Apocalypse. Apo, from the lips. Revelations. Alright. So this is a revelation about Greece, what the word Greece truly means, and how it's in context, and what it truly stands for. Alright. So we already know that the land and the people, the originals of that land, are brothers of Yah. Alright, that's the house. Alright. So now we have to look at why Greece. Alright? So what does John mean? What is in Hebrew, his name would have been Yah Kanan. Yah meaning like God, Yah. Okay. Then you say Kanan. What is Kanan? Kanan is grace. Cain, favor, grace. Tekena, favor. Livia. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. Teshua, Rega, Tekanon, Ken. Okay, so when you would look at John is Yakanan. The grace. All right. Yah and Kanan. All right. So, listen. So when we're saying grace, that's what you call prayer in English down south in southern USA, America. The way that the Baptist black people say it, we say grace. And that's when you say, oh, I'm going to say my prayers or my thankfulness. Thankfulness is the tribe of Judah. Like Thanksgiving, it's Utah, Judah, Yada. Okay. That's thankfulness. To throw praise, to give praise, to show grace. That is why Yeshua's favorite disciple and apostle was Yah Kanan, Yah's grace, the grace of Yah. Okay. In revelation to you guys about me, that would be my middle name. Okay. And it took me a long time to realize what's really going on about this. But yeah, that's pretty much how I ended up experiencing the Ruach, the Most High promises. The grace is the only way of salvation. It is not by our own hand, not by our physical abilities, which I am well endowed. That has nothing to do with the power, the truth of the grace that comes through Yah. His word has everything to do with it. I am decreased and diminished, and He is everything. Because the word is living, and I am just a hot bag of air. All right. So, pretty much, check this out. John, in layman terms, in English, we're just saying John. All right. In Hebrew, Yakanan. Okay, the point of having the Hebrew is the love of the spirit of Yah. The spirit of Yah, the love of Yah is the spirit of Yah, the spirit of understanding, which is the Holy Spirit, Aheb Ruach Kadesh. All right, so you have to have that. You have to have the spirit. All right, by the spirit only you can proclaim that Yahshua is Yah. Okay. Anyway, check this out. Greece. Here we go again. Okay, so in Hebrew, the equivalent of Greece would have been Canaan. The Canaan. Okay? So in Italy, when the Roman Vatican popped up to take over, and they took what we call in English the Bible, which is more like Babel, from Babylon, which is a curse, like damn and damn for blood, for dam. All right. So they had the canon. What does that sound like? The Canaan. The canon, the Canaan is the grace, which is the word of Yah. You're only going to be saved by the grace. But they contradict the whole word, coming in the name and doing completely opposite. They study everything but Revelations, which is completely written by John, by grace, by Yachanan. The name of he's the author. Okay, from beginning to the end of that book. And this is the time that it's warning about, and they're hiding it from their people. They're holding back the grace of Yah from their from the masses. All right, even calling it outlawed and pseudopocryphy and all this mess. Like literally, they outlaw grace. All right, so anyway, check it out. So here we go. So that's how they can call that. You already saw that when Paul went to Greece, Achaia, they were calling him and his people Zeus and all types of pagan god names, right? Now the thing is, okay, here we go. Zeus would have been more of a representation of Yayan after the flood, on an island, lots of animals. Okay, a zoo. Okay, zoo. Okay, Zeus. Okay. Greece, Zeus. Okay, you get it? Okay. John, Yavan, Yayan. Okay, from beginning to end. There you go. So here we go, through and through. Take away that Zeus stuff. Now we're looking at the Greece part. The Greece is supposed to be a derivative or a part of the spirit of Zeus. It's like the Aheb Ruach Kadesh is with the Hayashar Ahaya. It's more so the Mashiach or Messiah is more so the Messiah, okay, and the Ma'aseyah, okay. The Messiah is the oil, or if you want to call it the lubricant, like grease. Put on some grease, lube it up, okay. The Ma'aseyah is the oil, the protection that you rub on. I mean, the Messiah is the oil protection that you rub on. A grease, a coat. Okay. A grace. Something that is done for you and you follow the orders. And it's something that you can't do for yourself because you didn't have the knowledge and understanding of the Spirit, and the Most High gave you that as grace. Told you to apply this. Your fathers and forefathers went through it, left it for you. That's grace, inherited. Okay, you understand the formula? All right, so here we go. You got Greece. Here we go. Christo, cross, Christ. Okay, all that is representing what? Grace. Okay, it's all representing John, Yavan, okay, Yayan. So the thing is, that's the name. John's name is what. So it's like they're not even saying. So because Greece was actually called outside of Greece, supposed to mean hell, Hellas, or something like that, right? So outside of Greece, you're speaking English, Latin, right? In Greece, they spoke what you call not Greek, but it was called Helen. All right, Hellas. That's what we spoke. All right. And that might even been from, I don't know, the Trojan War or something like that. Some weird stuff. But anyway, okay, before even Greece, it was called Achaia. Okay, like I said, that's right around the time from way before when Noah and them came off the ark. All right, and then after that, stuff started to change. All right, so the Greece, the grace, the cross, the Christ, the Chris, the Crisco is the oil, the protection. Okay. All that represents Masaya oil. Okay. You cross yourself with your oil. You cover yourself with oil. You smear yourself with oil. All right. So you cover yourself in the word. So we're only saved by grace. We're only saved by John. So they named Greece to let you know who is there. Okay, who is the most important there? It's named after him. All right, period. All right. And they're saying multiple things, like in Hebrew, how you have, look, check this out. Moses, his name wasn't Moses, it was Moshe. Okay. Moshe come like the word mishar, which would be like measure in English. Measure what? To make sure it's straight, smooth, right, agreeable. Okay, yes sir. Yashar, measure, mishar come from yashar. Yashar is straight, good, smooth, agreeable, right, righteous, conscious, all that good stuff. You know what I mean? All that is good. And that's what Ahia is, it's of his name. So in heaven is Yah, on earth is Ma. Okay? From heaven, Yah, Shamayim, to earth, it's Ma, because dirt, ground is mud, it's death, but heaven is life. Okay? He breathed life into the dirt, death, and man was made wonderfully and fearful. Okay, so we have from Yasha to Moshe. Yashaya is the word of the Most High. He is the Most High and the Spirit, which is the Ruach Kadesh of the Most High. He is the Ma'aseh, the work of the Most High. He is the Mashiach. He is the chosen anointed of the Most High. Kadosh, he is one as the Most High. You see him, but you hear his Father. That's how close and one they are. Can't have one without the other, even calling the name. All right. So therefore, that is, like I just said, the same thing is said about Greece. The same thing is said about grace. The same thing is said about John, Yakanan. Okay? Kanan means grace. Okay. Cain, Kenan, Kanan, grace. Alright? That's what that is. So therefore, you have to look at it and say that John, who you're calling John, Yakanan, the grace of Yah, okay, who gave you revelations, which is grace from Yah, told him to seal it up until this day. Okay, For who? Us. All right. So here you go. Yashaya. Love Yakanan. Okay? Yakanan was from the land of Akaya. Okay? Akaya means brother of Ahaya, who is Yah. Okay. Okay? Okay. The word of Yah, which would be Yashaya. And then you have the grace of Yah, which would be Yakanan. Okay. So you have Yashar, those are who are Israel, and then you have Akaya, those who would be Greece. You say you have Jews and then you have Gentiles, whatever. All shall come to salvation through grace, through the word of Yah, which come only by his prophet. Who is that? John said, look out for these days if you're following what's going on. He was telling you what places, what to look for, names, dates, people, times. He told you everything. It's grace. So look at it. If you went back to the future, if you had the movie Back to the Future, if you were in the movie Back to the Future, the guy that plays Trump, Biff, all right, Biff catches the time travelers, steals their freaking book, which is a book of what? A book of grace. An almanac, a farmer's almanac. A farmer's almanac holds what? Records. Oh, times, dates, places, all that stuff. So if you go into it's from the future. So all he has to do is just go to the specific date, time, and place his bet, and then take off. Okay. You understand? All right. So that is exactly what Yakanan has given us. Man is only saved by grace. It's not by our deeds. It's about accepting it. The grace, the word of Yah. All right, accepting what Yakanan was told to write down, what grace was told to write down, what the grace of Yah was told to write down for us. So the point is, you can go off and call on all these other names, but if the names don't go to the root, then it has no fruit, and it's only death. You got to have the whole story here. You know what I mean? The whole story is kadosh. It's one. The beginning and the end. They are the same. One and the same. From the beginning to the end, heaven and earth shall pass away, but my name is forever. My name shall remain. One who always was, one who still is, and one who shall come to pass. All right? That is always and forever for you. All right? And that is Ahaya, Ashar, Ahaya. One who always was, one who is, one who comes to pass. And I come to pass. I always was, I am right here, and I will come to pass. That's what his name means. But at the same time that you're saying that, and it means that, his name actually does spell out and says and pronunciates with pronunciation, with no mistake, without a shadow of a doubt. It says Yashaya, the salvation of Yah. Ahaya Shar Ahaya, without a doubt, 100% says the salvation of Yah. You just don't understand that you're looking at where somebody left off. What somebody left off was, you know what I mean, they broke the name into 3 pieces and said these are the roots, prefixes, suffixes, the beginning and the end, and the middle and the body. And they put it there so you can see what makes up the Father, the Son, and the Spirit, the understanding of the name. All right there. Put them both together. Put it all together. And wherever you look for the Father, you're going to find the Son, and wherever you look for the Son, you're going to find the Father, and the Ruach will prove it, because that's what you will test it by. I have Ruach Kadesh. Hebrew. Okay. if it don't line up to the Hebrew, if you're not even paying attention to the Hebrew, then you're not, you haven't even begun. That's the point. That is the point of speaking in tongues, to understand that what somebody is saying in that language is actually what is being said in this language, but in a context that should be converted. When I say convert, it's like converting a sinner to a saint. You have to convert the way, not what they do, but how they do it. You're going to say the word, then say it properly and in good respect. I'm not mad at you because you're saying the words in Hebrew, in English. I'm not mad at that. I'm just mad that you don't understand that you are. And then there's those that deny it flat out, and then there's those that will just damn fight you straight to your face just for even bringing it to their attention that everybody's all straight headed to hell. Like, and you can look at me and say, oh, you're not supposed to say that, you're not supposed to say that. Well, you know what, my middle name was all about warning you about how far it is. It's grace. Okay? The power in my name is grace. Alright? And the only grace that I'm looking for, I can't take it outside of what I've been given. I didn't name myself. I'll tell you that. But at the end of the day, man, you guys gotta understand. You're speaking different languages, though you think you're speaking one language. And it's careless to stare at a shadow and never see your reflection. You know what I mean? You never know. It's careless. But yeah, at the end of the day, man, just brought all this together to let you guys know that the name of the place changes here and there, but what makes up the names shouldn't fall too far away from the tree. All right? So that's why I was saying, when I said Christ, his name isn't Christ, and it's not Jesus. These are names that are taken from the language of the people that are in that land. Now, if you want to go there, Galatia. All right? Galatya. Gallo-Gracie. Greece. Greeks. Gallo-Crix. The Galatians. The Gaul. From Greek Galatia. All right. So what I'm saying is that Babylon will switch up the names, dates, places, and times, counterfeit, clone, and just cause all type of confusion. And they'll label you. They'll label it on you. They'll label it on the people. And they'll label it on the truth, so that you just ignore those people, write them off, call them crazy, and, you know, look very lackluster of life. You know, they just tarnish everything. You know, they don't really look for, like I said, they don't have the understanding of the, well, I can't say they don't. It's vain. Their understanding is in vain. That's the point. It's in vain. That's why, like, Cain, he, the land wouldn't yield any food for him. You know what I mean? So, like, no matter if he even touched the soil or the land or anything, can't get nothing from it. You understand that? So therefore, if you can't get nothing from the land, then it doesn't matter if you plant seeds. They're just not going to grow for you. And even if they did grow, who knows? You might be allergic and might throw up everything you put in your mouth. Who knows? But that's the mysterious ways of the Most High. Is that when He says it, that's the way it is. And you'll find out that it may not be the way that you thought it was or you expect it to be, but it's exactly what He said it would be. And you just had to learn a little bit more what you thought was exact. And that's what I mean about, like, you know, what was put on my heart to tell you guys is that, like, at the end of the day, I know that there were some things that were changed, and there were some things that were left in because they're too key or too vital or too relevant. You understand? So therefore, at the end of the day, what was changed is going to be something that is going to be mostly incentivized. So when they don't even talk about the book, they don't talk about nothing else but the name Jesus, and that lets me know that was what was changed. When they won't even acknowledge, you know, the true Hebrew and stuff like that, they don't even acknowledge it. They don't. Even when they reference the Hebrew, it's not even the true Hebrew. It's just, like I said, they just don't. They refuse. They do it on purpose, and it's covert manipulation. So at the end of the day, it's false light, false hope, false prophet. And then there's many of those, in order to cover up the false light that they do have, to make the false light that they do have seem more authentic, they'll bring out another false light to go up against that. And they call that publicity. They call that a left-right paradigm. You know what I mean? Like, it's a damned if you do and a damned if you don't situation with their situation, because the other side is evident, but it's not really. You understand? Like, they pretend to be the other side, but they're never the other side of themselves. They're all connected. That's why they all are on the same network. They're on the same noose. They're the same anchor, throwing them assist. You know what I mean? Giving them the assist. They're assisting death, both of them, both sides. If they're all assisting death, then let the dead bury the dead. You are of the living, so leave their whole platform alone. Get away from them. Stop eating what they feed you. They're feeding you death, and death begats more death. That's formula. You guys have to pay attention to formula. The only way you're going to convert death is to save someone that's already on the way to death, to the second death. Save them from that. And now you're starting to make some deal. But in this life, everybody got to die. But in the next life, everybody does not have to die. So the word has been passed over. It has been crossed. You understand that? It has been dressed in a bow so that you don't know. It has been crypto, kept secret. And now there's hell to pay. Hell to pay. Everybody's speaking Hebrew over there and over here. But none of them are worshiping the Most High. Or else you would have heard about it. You wouldn't have all this other blasphemy flying around. They would correct us over here. There is no correction. I'm the only one. I can't say I'm the only one. There are a couple of brothers out there on the web, out there fighting it, tussling against the wisdom of the web, the wizards of the web, and all their fact checkers, trying to inform you that our tongue is the snare. It's not our feet. It's not the land. You can't blame anything outside of you for what's driving you on the inside. That product of the environment is the inside lying to you so that you would ignore it. You understand? And you think, oh, well, somebody outside told me that. Well, that's a manipulation of somebody that has destroyed. They didn't create to tell you, oh, this is how it was made. Their knowledge didn't come through creation. Their knowledge came through destruction and death. And their knowledge is only going to be able to give you that formula. They're not going to go and reverse engineer it. And if they do, it's probably an abomination anyway. They probably had to destroy something else in order to give power to whatever else they're trying to create. You understand? It's not create. It's whatever else they're trying to create. I shouldn't say create. Whatever else they're trying to counterfeit. You understand? Like, it's petty. It's real petty life with the fallen angels. It's very petty, meticulous, like a broken record. And that just keeps things coming back around in their favor. You got to get out of that track. Like I said, that's a snare. That's our tongue. It's our prayers. It's our grace. What we call grace, we're calling it a Bible. That's confusion. Nope, it's not called a Bible. Why the people that supposed to be in charge of the situation, or the most world-renowned authority on the situation, is the messenger greater than the one who sent them? First off, that's them. They're the messenger. So how you gonna be greater than the one that sent you? So that means you can say, oh, grace, we're calling it canon, but you guys over there, we control English. See, we didn't know English back then. They knew English. They had Latin. So what they called our book was a Bible. What they called their book was a canon. The only thing was they forced it on us. With them, it was incentivized. Incentivized is force, and incentives are both influences, but just by different spirits and different degrees. And that's either way it goes, right, left paradigm. It all gets done. And that's where you wake up in this world and you got two opposing sides, and then a third enters, and then a fourth and a fifth, but they're all just Russian dolls. They're all just wings and feathers of the same cause. Confusion. Confusion. That's the only reason why you would need to change something, is to confuse somebody. You know what I mean? Say, oh, this is different than that. You know what I mean? No, it's not, bro. Like, you may hate to say what the truth is, so therefore you will, obfuscate or translate, trans-Latin. You would transhumanize and create a whole new species in order to create a whole new language, just so you can get away with it in the face of man. And that's what you did. And that's what the serpents did. That's what the fallen angels did. And their seed does the same thing as their father. All you guys got to do is pay attention to the story and figure out, like I said, it's the same thing as time travel with Back to the Future. You got the almanac in what you're calling a Bible. It's not a Bible, it's grace. You go and look up the grace and figure out how it applies to your future. And then you put yourself in a position, a time, and a place to be there. Witness it. He said you called to be a witness. If you got the truth and then time is on your side and you don't be a witness of it, and then all this death is left, oh, wow. Like, who is to blame? I don't care if everybody in the world is doing it. If you were given the truth and you didn't, and just, man, if you're given the truth and everything in the world goes against it, but you know the truth, like you know that you're right and they're wrong, man, like, I'm just saying, bro, like, there ain't no excuse. There's no excuse. It doesn't matter how many people turn you down. It doesn't matter how many repetitions and times you got to start over. You look at them going the wrong way, fighting to be the best. You know, like, and they appear to outdo you. You know, especially by their rules. But at the end of the day, like, you're gonna be in a whole new light for your resilience. You know what I mean? Your resilience is what you stick it out, what you walk through with the Most High to witness. The first prophet was Enoch, or Hanukkah. Enoch, Hanukkah, Enoch, Hanukkah. Okay? So, like Yakanan, Enoch, Hanukkah, Yakanan, Hanuak. Okay, so Hanak, and then Noah was Nowak, like Novak, Nowak, Nowakski. So what I'm saying is that when you're looking at these names, bro, there's grace. You understand? Enoch was pretty much the John of his time. You understand? Because what he did was, he pretty much, this is before Noah. He was the 2 generations before his great-grandson, his great-great-great-great-grandson would have been Yavan. All right. So, and even John talks about Enoch in the book of John. They are family. He's a direct descendant of the 7th from Adam. Yakanan, grace. Okay? Greece. All that is of Enoch's story. All right? So what I'm saying is that when you're looking at it, at the end of the day, as in the beginning, so too shall be in the end. What did Enoch do? Enoch walked with Yah. Okay, what did John do? John walked with Yashaya. Okay. So you have, and he was Yashaya's favorite disciple, the one who Yashaya loved. And he said, if he is not to die, what is it to you? All right, when he was talking to his head disciple, Peter, who everything was founded on, or Petra, whatever that might be in Greek, Petra, patriot, Petra, patriot. Okay, so what we're talking about is how, as in the beginning, so too shall be in the end, and this is the whole story. How the types and shadows and names are still the same if it be the truth. You test it by the Spirit. So you look at, okay, the land, the place, Greece, okay, Akaya, okay, and then you're looking at Enoch and John, grace and dedication. All right, Enoch was dedicated. He was trained up and dedicated. You understand that? That's what Enoch means, to train up or to dedicate. So with him being like that, and John being the grace, so grace trains you. It trains you up. It dedicates you. It's dedicated to you. Grace, something for you that you cannot do for yourself. It's obviously going to be, like I said, like a coach, and it's a guide. A guide is grace. So what happened with John and Enoch? Enoch gave us he went up against the angels. He didn't say against the angels. He was an interceder, or envoy, or a lawyer, if you would call, between the fallen and the word of Yah. He had the word of Yah directly from Yah. Yah's messengers, Yah's angels. Uriel, the fire of Yah, the flame of Yah. And all the other fallen angels, they would trade technology, information, pretty much reading, writing, mathematics, all types of just all what you would call science or whatever, technology, to advance his nation, to advance his people, in trade for the truth, because he could hear and they couldn't. They could no longer hear the Most High. And if he did it to the angels, what makes you think he would not do it to you here on earth? And there were plenty of them angels. I'm talking plenty. Okay? And destroyed the whole world of them too. What do you think? He already warned you. He said, if I did it to them, what makes you think I ain't gonna do it to you? And just because I did it to them, and just because I gave them a helper, he gave them a helper. Enoch was a mediator for mankind and the fallen angels between heaven and earth. John is a mediator between mankind and the fallen, or I shouldn't say the fallen angels, between the sinners and the saints. All right, that's where that goes. So at the end of the day, you got a bunch of children of the fallen angels trying to predict the Bible and get out ahead and put out cover stories or whatever, disclaimer, what do you call it, smear campaigns or whatever. And they run the media. Made Yah. Yeah, they're fake. They make nothing. They can't make anything. That's why the Most High says that they cannot create anything new under the sun. There is nothing new under the sun. Alright? So they ain't making Yah. You understand? Made Yah. Made Yah. M-E-D-I-A. Okay? That's made Yah. Okay. And you go all hang off every word they say with a noose. Literally, no pun intended. But it fits because of the Ruach Kadesh. That's just the Ruach is gonna work it. No matter what you're working with, it's gonna work it out for you to get the point. You know? The media made you a noose, made Yah a noose, media noose. They say media, and it ain't no dia. It's made Yah. Made Yah noose. Noose. N-O-S-S. N-O-O-S-E. My bad. Noose. Not N-E-W-S. That's some bull. They just playing with you, fam. They just playing with you. Alright? Get a grip on yourself. You're like, oh, it means something new. Okay, well, why you need an anchor man? An anchor man goes with a noose also. So now what's the difference? What you need a host for? Somebody to hoist you up. So now what's the difference? Yeah, there's a difference now. Got a stage, got a studio. Studio. They're going to stew God, studio. They're going to stew you. What's this about? They're going to cook you. They're going to hoist you up, anchor you up, break the headlines, hot topics, cook you, debate you, and then they're going to studio your ass. You know what I mean? They're going to stew. They're going to cook. And they're going to share it. And then they're going to have everybody saying the same thing in their mouth all around the world. Death, death, death. Worshiping death. You understand? So, if I'm not mistaken, studio is more so death in the first place. In the first degree. Let me see. It just seems like a weird one, but let's do it real quick. Let's see what this is. As the rock is hitting me with it. Put studio here. Alright, we got 88 miles per hour. There goes your trunk. Studio. It's pretty much like saying artificial. You know what I mean? Studio. Fake creators. You know what I mean? Fake news. Studio. I don't know, but we're gonna see. 444. Dang. It's got all the bad numbers. Alright. So let's see this. Studio. Because most of the content that you absorb is out of somebody's studio, off of somebody's network, off of somebody's noose. Do you understand that? Getting hoisted up. The headlines have been broken so much it's barely got any head left on it. Alright. Studio. 1819. Workroom of a sculptor or a painter. So you see, there you go. There you go. Usually one with windows to emit light from the sky. From the Italian studio, room for study. Studium, study. Let's see what study means. Studien, to strive toward, devote oneself to cultivate virtue, vice, wisdom. Haha. Interesting. Okay. Let's keep on getting it. Sometimes translating Latin, estudiare, to study. Estudier, apply oneself, show zeal for, examine. Etudier. Studiare. Study application, originally eagerness from studier, to be diligent, which is to reconstruct, to push, stick, knock, beat. There we go. Stew, to push, stick, knock, beat. What did I tell you, bro? Appears to be pressing forward, thrusting toward, hence striving after. It sounds like persecution. Period. Sounds like a persecution lab. What do they call that? A torture chamber. A studio. I got a studio. Yeah, it's a torture chamber. Okay? It's where you're hanging people up on nooses, putting their feet to the fire, and then breaking off pieces and selling little baggies out the door. Alright? Nothing but a freaking 2-bit hustler, nickel dime bag dealer of death. Alright? Talking about noose. See, like, they can put it in your face and mock you to your face because you will eat it up. You know? The eyes are the windows to the soul. So they feeding your soul death. So when your soul grows, death begot more death. Where you gonna go? You're going to the second death because you're eating this shit. You're eating up the noose. The noose, man. Eating off the noose. That's the tree. That's a forbidden fruit. In the middle of the garden, the media, middle. Let's see what media means. All right. Technical term, advertisement plural, medium, intermediate agency, a sense, middle ground, quality or degree that holds a middle place or position. All right, so we go up. All right. Do I have to go to med just to get these guys to admit? that we got them. As a colloquial short meaning of medicine, capital M, and short for Mediterranean. Meds as a shortening of medications. They're saying it's shortening. The hell are they talking about? These guys cracking me up with their definitions. Take appropriate measures. Yeah. Do something about taking appropriate measures. TAM. TAM. Interesting. At the end of the day, man, like I said, media is trying to say like they are God, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't know what's going on here, but at the end of the day, this is the gist of what they're trying to say, man. You just gotta catch their slightness. They're very slight with this. Subtle, like their father the serpent. Speaking Latin, to lie hidden. Straighten your mouth and you still don't even know them. They don't need to be all around you in your face to show you when they got you by the tongue. Okay, of Persia media, who is the enemies of the chosen? Persia media, Philistines. All right, you understand? Those are the people that love to stone. That's what Philistine mean. People that love to stone you. They're stone lovers. It's just fitting that David had to crush one of their heads with a stone. All right. So at the end of the day, you understand? Like I said, man, things go full circle and have more than one. Oh man. All right. So look, man, this is how crazy this goes, bro. I'm gonna go over here, and then we're gonna go back, and I'm gonna show you what I was looking at when we first started this whole video. All right, Gaul. All right, Galatians. All right, Gaul. 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 All right, do you understand what we're looking at here? So, Gaul, Gallatin Gala is like a pole or a branch that you would hang a noose on for somebody to hang strange fruit on. Okay. So therefore, the garden in the middle of the tree in the center of the garden, you know, you're eating strange fruit. Death, you consume death. Consumers of death, drinking the waters of the blood of a dead man. That's essentially like they can only feed you what they make a living off of. They're vampires, okay? So what does a vampire have to serve you but the damned? The children of the damned can only serve you the damned. They can only serve you the damned. Curses, lies, deceptions, illusions, all roads lead to Rome that way. Catacombs that way. Death that way. Alright? Judgment. So you guys, they advertise themselves so that you want to be like them. So therefore, who's to blame them when they do it to you? When they give you the treatment? Because you've been sucking off of every teat that they stick out for you on the TV. Alright? You understand? So what I mean is, the Gala, the Galatians, the Galatins, the Guillotines. Guess what, bro? It's the gallows. At the end of the day, you all worshiping the gallows, bro. It's the gallows. What's the gallows? The gallows is where they hang people from. Where they run pikes up people's rear ends and have it come out their mouth and hang them up in the sky, like all roads lead to Rome. Dasha, in front of Dracula. Okay? Dragon, children of the damned. This is where they literally put you up on the noose, anchor you up, hoist you up in the gallows for everybody to see. And they charge money for you to go to the gallery. That's how they make their money. They taxing you. You gotta have a license to watch the noose over in the UK. You gotta have a license to have a TV in the UK. So you gotta have a license to watch. They make you buy into it. That's the whole point, man. They dress in the bow so that you don't know. They tell you to your face, oh, you just put a price on it, people will buy shit. Because they think because it's got a price on it and it's advertised or it's incentivized that it's innocent. Whoo! The biggest error I've ever heard in my life. Because it is widely incentivized, you think you're innocent. That is why people are going to go to hell. See, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. What is lack of knowledge? Not knowing that they're lying to you only to get the bag. They're lying for the bag. And they will be nowhere near you or your side when the shit hits the fan. You know what I mean? They're not trying to get their head stuck in the noose. They keep it at a safe distance in the studio. You understand? And they stay on the anchor side of the gallows. You understand? They stand on the host side of a gallows. You hardly ever see them up in there unless one of them gets a heart. One of them get a heart. Oh, they got a... They smell blood all of a sudden, boy. They be up in that bad boy so fast, body wouldn't even have time to hit the flow. All right, I've done a long enough show. This is 1 hour and 3 minutes here. I hope this was rather entertaining. I apologize for talking your ear off for so long, but I just had to get down to just like explaining all this out to you guys, how this is just one language, bro, but this language is the language of money, the language of sin, the language of romance, the language of all these different pieces of Babylon to make one big beast. And it's going straight to hell. False prophet, beast, antichrist, and death. All four going to the lake of fire, like 4 horsemen. The sea, which is me, that's my first name, the sea. The sea collects a lot of souls in the end in the book of Revelations. And the sea is talked about just like death, just like Hades, just like the Antichrist, and just like the false prophet. But there's one difference. The sea disappears and is no more. Those other 4, oh, they go into the lake of fire for eternal damnation and judgment. What happens after the sea is no more? I'm pretty sure there's a stream that appears in heaven. But other than that, I'm not really too worried because the Ruach got everything under control, fam. Aheb Ruach Kadesh got everything under control. So, on that note, man, I just want you guys to just pay more attention, man. You guys eating jello, you're eating death. Just to let you know that also. Gallows and gelatin is not too far away from guillotine. and they all come from the same team. I already told you. You got to start putting the truth inside and start seeing things for what they are. Stop nitpicking out the family. You sleeping with the enemy. You understand? All right, man. Going to jail, getting gelatinous, and catch the guillotine at the end. Ain't that some shit? Man, come on, bro. This is just too much. This is how they do it, bro. Like, that's the order of operation with these cats. It's a method to the madness, man. Just stay tuned for more videos, fam. This was a real chill, laid back. You know, I didn't have too much. You know, I didn't have any video all, you know, hardcore, you know, gathered up resources and stuff to show you. It's just the word, plain and simple, straight, you know, the way it's supposed to be. Fruit and the fruit, roots and tree. You understand? Fruit, roots, fruit and tree. There you go. Or actually we should say roots, tree and fruit. More like Yasha Ya, roots, tree, truth. There you go. There you go. More so. Just giving it to you straight truth, straight through. To give you the whole tree, roots, tree and fruit. So do the whole tree. There you go, fam. Just a little faith in the truth, fam, will take you a long way. It'll move mountains, fam. Faith the size of mustard seed will move mountains. So you guys, y'all have a good one, man. That's all I gotta say for today. And I shouldn't say for today. Might come up with something in another hour. We'll see. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and let it breathe. All right. Let the Ruach, you know, rest with you guys for a minute. Think about what you're gonna do. On that note, to the Rabbi Hayashar Hayakadosh Kadash Kadash, to the Rabbi Shai Kadesh Kadash Kadosh, to the Rabbi Hebra Kadash Kadash Kadosh, Anami Amen.